Real quick, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join my Discord server. Link down below in the description of the video. We're at 2,000 members. We just hit level 3 boosts. Thank you very much for that. Right now, we're currently at 20,000 subscribers. I'm trying to hit 30,000 now. I really appreciate you if you can help me out with that. Let's try to get this video to 800 likes. Comment down below what's your favorite part of this video and just anything that you want to see related to Project Slayer's update 2. Question of the day: who's harder, Yorichi from Bleach or Hibana from Fire Force? Let me know down below in the comments. Alright, enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, so this one is from My Hero Academia fans. Recently in the past, probably like a couple of months ago, I used to do these cosplay events and I give away awards at the end for whoever wins. Basically, the rules is that I dress up as somebody from an anime and I cosplay as them, and you guys have to guess who am I cosplaying from. The first person that actually guesses the right person gets a award. Now the only catch is that you have to join my Discord server. Usually the award is a roll call cosplay winners and you'll be displayed above everybody else. Well, not above everybody else, but the majority of people in the server. Also comes with pig perms and stuff like that. Now I'm not gonna lie, this one is pretty hard. For your hint, it is from My Hero Academia and the person I'm cosplaying as starts with M. Her name, or her hero name, starts with an M, and that's basically it. Good luck. Join my Discord server. I'll announce the winner in there and I'll ping you and get you rolls and stuff like that. And I'm also going to be giving you $10 nitro. Yes sir, the reward is $10 nitro and the cosplay winner roll in my Discord server. Either way, make sure you guys join my Discord server. We just hit level 3 boost. That's right. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of the video, I guess. Bye. So 4 days ago, I made a PvP BDA / breathing tier list. And I'm not gonna lie, I personally think this is pretty accurate, but I also think I can get it even more accurate. And of course, in the past 4 days, there has been some balancing that was done to the BDA / breathings that were added to Project Slayers in the recent update. For example, Ice BDA's second move, which is the counter, now doesn't last as long, and a couple other stuff that they balanced out like damage scaling and etc etc. They also recently upped the health scaling for, I'm pretty sure, NPCs and players. But anyways, today I'm going to be making an updated tier list to my previous tier list 4 days ago. I also forgot to add snow breathing to that tier list, and I'm not gonna lie, snow breathing is pretty irrelevant and it's not that good, so it wasn't that big of an issue. But I didn't realize that there was not snow breathing on my tier list until after I posted the video, so that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to make an updated tier list. Now, as you see here on the screen, on top tier I have ice, flame, and wind. Remember, this is a PvP tier list. Ice is completely broken. You cannot disagree with me. Ice is probably the best thing for PvP right now. Moving on to the second tier, we have pretty good, and I have Swamp Mist, Sound, Dream, Akaza, Nezuko Blood, and Speed on this tier list. Speed Demon Art. I don't know, I always call it Speed Demon Art. It's called Reaper Demon Art. But anyways, Swamp is still viable for PvP, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not broken, but it's still pretty good. So I'm gonna try orienting this tier list from best to worst, starting with Ice BDA. Now, on my old tier list, Ice BDA was top tier number 1. I don't know all the nerfs that it got, but one of the biggest nerf is that the counter doesn't last as long. And honestly, if you go in PvP today without reading the nerf list, you can still see that this BDA is still crazy good. So with the counter and the grab move, I have to put this on number 1. I just have to. As a PvP tier list, it has to be on number 1. Now, my last video, I'm pretty sure I had it a little bit more organized, where I did Demon Arts first, and then the second half of the video I did breathings. But in this video, I'm just gonna kind of mix it up and go along with it, so eventually you'll get to what you're looking for. But on the second slot of top tier, we have none other than Rengoku, the man himself, Flame Breathing. Now, I think that Flame Breathing doesn't get the hype that it should. First of all, Flame Breathing isn't a bad breathing at all. It is really easy to combo with, and to be honest, it is not that hard to start combos with. You can combo extend with the ultimate by just up tilting them in the air and aiming your camera directly up in the air. And Flame does decent damage. So I personally think Flame is kind of top tier. Now, I'm not gonna lie with you, to get good at Flame, it takes a little bit more skills than most of the things on this tier list, but I still think it's pretty good. Now, I have to add Wind right behind it. Wind is still really good for PvP with the AoE it has and the decent amount of damage that it does, along with the little bit of breathing that it takes. Wind is definitely number 3 on this tier list. And just like my old tier list, we basically have the top tier again, except I'm going to be adding a new member to the top tier, and that has to be Swamp. I recently fought a couple of Swamp users in PvP, and most of them just ran and spammed their Swamp moves. So if you have ice, it's kind of not that hard to fight a Swamp user, but at the same time, Swamp is still pretty darn good for PvP. Now, I'm not going to touch the top tier side of this tier list again. That is pretty much the top tier side of this tier list. It's just like my old tier list, except Swamp is the new member to the top tier side of this tier list. Next up, we're going to put Dream on pretty good, as this was behind Swamp on pretty good on my old tier list, but Dream is still viable. Dream is actually still pretty good for PvP. Just the stuns that it has, you can emote on people mid combo. I've literally done this before. And the C move, you can still kind of, even though it got nerfed, you can still kind of abuse it. You can get people in it. Like if you see somebody dash forward trying to M1 you, you can pop the C move just like right there. The only thing I don't like about Swamp is the ultimate. The ultimate is meh, but it does decent damage, so it's not that bad, but it's still meh in my opinion. I'm gonna put Blood Demon art right behind Dream on this tier list. Now, if you actually take a look at my old tier list, you can see that I actually put Nezuko Blood Demon art on the pretty far side of the pretty good section of the tier list. Now, mind you, this is my old tier list. On my new tier list, I'm putting it right behind Dream. On my old tier list, I also put Dream behind Sound and Miss, which is kind of crazy. I'm going to be explaining why I'm changing the order of the pretty good section of this tier list in a second once I'm finished this side of the tier list. But honestly, I feel like Dream is better than Sound and Miss, so I'm putting it above Sound and Miss. Next up, we have Miss on the pretty good section of this tier list. I'm also going to add Sound on the pretty good section of this tier list. And I'm also going to add Akaza on the pretty good section of this tier list, along with Reaper Demon art. Now, this is going to consist of the pretty good section of the tier list, and I want to compare this tier list to my old tier list. So real quick, this is the new tier list that I'm making for this video, and this is the old tier list in my other video 4 days ago. Now, as you see here, I had Swamp on a pretty good section of this tier list, which I moved up to the top tier section of the tier list, and then I had Miss, Sound behind, or actually in front of Dream, and now in the new tier list, I have Dream above Miss and Sound, and I also have Nezuko Demon art, which is Blood Demon art, above everything else besides Dream. Now, Blood Demon art was nerfed a lot, and it's not as good as it was before, but I still think it's pretty good for PvP, especially the landmines. If you're somebody that lags in PvP, you can abuse the hell out of the landmines. I've had somebody using the landmines in the middle of my N1 combos just because they're lagging, and I feel like that's just completely broken. The grab hitbox is just as bad as Doma's grab hitbox, if not even worse. If you're not predictable with the Blood Demon art, it's actually pretty good to use in PvP. Now, the reason why Sound is where it's at now and not on the top of the pretty good section of the tier list, it's because that Sound is honestly not that good for PvP. You can combo every single move with Sound, you can combo extend, but that doesn't really make it good for PvP. Like I said in my old video, Sound, it kind of takes more skill than the rest of the things on this tier list. And in my opinion, it's kind of harder to initiate starting combos with this breathing, unlike Miss, Blood, and Dream. Akaza is right behind Sound, as Akaza you can't really combo extend with. It's pretty hard to combo extend with Akaza, although I feel like Akaza is still pretty viable for PvP. And actually, I am going to move Akaza above Sound, as I think Akaza is a little bit more better for PvP. You know, I actually take that back. It's really hard to actually like determine if Akaza is better than Sound or Sound is better than Akaza in PvP. When it comes down to it, it's kind of personal opinion and fighting styles. If you're more the type of person to just spam moves, pick Akaza. If you want to combo extend and you're good at combo extending and getting combos off with your breathing, pick Sound. But to be honest, it's not that big of a difference. Reaper is completely gutted if you're an ice user, which most of you guys I know have ice in PvP now since it's like top tier. Reaper is really easy to just counter, to be honest. Like, honestly, most Reaper users just spam the ultimate and try to combo extend from that. Like, Reaper is not all that. You have to actually be good with Reaper. But at the same time, it's still pretty good, so it's going on the pretty good section of this tier list. But at the same time, I still feel like it's not as good as like Blood Demon art and Dream. Alright, so we have Beast, Thunder, and Arrow on the mediocre side of this tier list, and this time I put Thunder above Arrow on the tier list. If you look on the old tier list, Thunder was actually on the okay section of that tier list. The reason for this change is that I actually think Thunder is a little bit easier to get combos off if you're less predictable. Now, Thunder is really predictable. If you're somebody who can use Thunder without being predictable, it's not that bad of a breathing to go for. The ultimate, the hitbox is funny and it's not as big as it was before. When the game first came out, Thunder hitbox ultimate was actually stupid. Now that has been gutted, and I feel like it's not as good as it was before. Although I think Arrow and Thunder go hand to hand, it's kind of up to who's the better player in that situation. And Beast is just Beast isn't that good. It's pretty like, the lack of AoE that Beast has and the lack of range that Beast has doesn't really make it good. The ultimate is a running charge, which you could just like throw a lightning bolt and just knock him away and cancel it, or you can counter with ice, or you can even grab him with ice, or you can grab him with Nezuko Demon Art. You can use your ultimate as Reaper to counter. Akaza, you can easily counter Beast. Down breathing, you just use your ultimate. Like, I mean, like, Mist is, I mean, like, literally everything could just counter Beast. Like, Beast is not, it's not that good. All right, next up is Water and Snow on the OK section. And I might as well finish up the tier list by putting, you guys already know, Tamari and Insect on the Meh. Now, I don't really have to explain why I put Tamari and Insect on the Meh section of this tier list. I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory. Water on the OK section of this tier list, and Snow on the OK section of this tier list, right behind Water. As Snow is not that good for PvP. The ultimate sucks ass. Water is a little bit better in my opinion. You can kind of combo with it. You can kind of get combos off easier with it. It has a little bit more range. It has a better ultimate. And I honestly feel like this is a lot better tier list than my old tier list. And hopefully I explained everything well and why I made these changes. And if you disagree with me, it's okay. If you agree with me, that's fine. That's cool. Honestly, I'm not trying to win you guys over. I'm just trying to state my opinion on everything in the game. Like, to be honest, if you think Swamp is better than Flame, I'm not really gonna like blame you if you're thinking that. Sometimes I think Swamp is better than Flame, and it really depends on the user and who's using what better. Some people might be able to use Swamp better than Flame, other people might be able to use Flame better than Swamp. With that being said, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video and found this tier list helpful. If you want to be busted and you want to get the best thing in the game, Ice. If you're a Demon Slayer and you want to get the best breathing for PvP, I'd recommend Flame, Wind, or I mean, Sound is not that bad. You can go Sound. Sound is pretty fun for a little bit, then you get bored of it. Mist is pretty decent to have, but honestly I recommend Wind, Flame, or Mist, or Sound for PvP. With that being said, make sure you guys subscribe, like the video. I'm trying to hit 30,000 subscribers. Appreciate y'all for 20K. I'm gonna see you guys next time.
Like a fucking heat seeker. Off of the molly and the coke, she a keeper. No, I really love her, but no, I don't need her. No, it sounds bad, but I never wanna leave her. Yeah, I've been in my bag for a long, long time. I've been going down the road, it's a long, long ride. And the only one I want is you, my side. We gon' split this shit up like it was apartheid.